Testing, 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 testing. As everyone else, I have challenges. I have challenges, things that are difficult for me to do consistently. An emphasis on the consistently because I don't believe that there's anything that's too difficult for me to achieve as long as I'm given the right amount of time and knowledge. So that's why I emphasize on the consistently. But these things have proven to remain challenging, at least for now. First on the list is reading books on general knowledge. General knowledge, as in knowledge found in educational institutions and schools. Reason being, well, I am fully aware that it's not tied to any of my major aspirations. And so, if we rewind back to the reason why I initially decided to focus and actually attempt to achieve some certain degree of expertise in academical regions, it's based off of one particular life experience. At some point in my life, I needed the financial support to achieve certain goals, and then due to the high rates in inflation and the high rate of everything, economical damage that was going on in my country, Nigeria, I didn't feel like it would be considerate of me to burden anybody around me or any of my relatives with my financial problems when I'm fully aware that they will be going through financial problems of their own. So I have an uncle that resides outside of the country. By God's grace, he's a doctor. And so my plan was basically to pitch to him what exactly it was that I wanted to do and try to get him to, support me financially. And so, to cut things short, it didn't work out. And then here was why. He was predominantly insistent on the fact that in order for me to become a great person in life, education has to be a pivotal factor. And I told him, I explained to him, not just that I told him, I explained to him how aware I am of that fact. How willing I am to go through the educational factor just for just for just to basically please everyone that insists that I do. And I also explained to him that there are people that have gone through that same educational factor and also went through their financial struggles and were able to achieve the both. And I explained to him that I do not believe that there will be people that are able to achieve both. And then I, with the amount of, with my total understanding of my capabilities, I don't believe that it's not possible for me to achieve the both. And he was insistent on the fact that it's impossible to achieve the both. That you either achieve one, you either become a first class student and get a good job, or you wander around and mindlessly waste time, as that's what he tagged the thing that I was doing. At some point, he explained that he understands the significance of what I am doing and he commends my confidence and courage. That not everyone my age is able to reason to that extent and actually put into action and actually make the move to execute those plans. And then the fact that I did was something worth acknowledgement. And so I explained to him that his acknowledgement is not enough. That the reason why I'm speaking to him at that moment was basically because of I needed financial support at that time. And yet again he refused to give me that financial support. Ah God. Don't just stay on this. And yet again he refused. And so because of that refusal, I decided that it's pointless achieving just my goal when I could achieve it and still prove him wrong. So I decided that I was going to prove him wrong. I was going to achieve this almighty first class and prove to him that I can achieve that and still become a millionaire. And so it has automatically been added to my list of goals, and it has become something that's worth acknowledgement, something that's important, and something that's worth my time. And so it has become something that I've put into execution every day of my life. I try to put it to execution because, like I said, it's still a difficulty. But then there's no point talking about the difficulty if you're not talking about what you intend to do to resolve that difficulty. And so what do I intend to do? Why don't you just open that door and close it? You don't know that the noise is affecting my video. And so what I intend to do is I intend to get someone that has the same determination as mine, but a different mindset, in the sense that he validates education, and so he would be my cue towards working towards achieving this educational superiority. He would be my cue. He would be the person that I would look at, and the person that I would basically, give me this initial drive and an additional reason as to why I should keep up with the whole educational factor. And he will act that part at least for a substantial amount of time before I'm able to do it on my own. So that's what I intend on doing, and I'll update on whether or not I am successful. And so as at the time of planning this video, I intended to list as part of my difficulties I was basically unable to speak to people. I was basically unable to communicate effectively based off of the principles that I recently learned from a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It says that you have to attribute some sense of importance towards the opposite person's life whenever you are conversing with them. You have to make them feel important, because at the end of the day, everybody cares about themselves and themselves alone. And so the sole understanding of how to care about someone else better than them, or to the extent at which they themselves care for themselves, is something that cannot be traded for anything. And it's something that will put majority of people that you will encounter into the palm of your hands. And so it's a skill that I deem worthy of acquiring. And so I've been practicing on it. And then from the time that I planned this video till now, I can say that I've already achieved substantial understanding on the whole metrics of that principle, and it's no longer something that I can deem challenging, because from the onset I've been quite humorous. I've been quite a humorous person. My apologies, because I don't show that off yet on here, but it's actually there. And then in my day-to-day life, I'm actually quite humorous and quite jovial, and I make use of terms that are less formal than I do here. And so it wasn't something that was difficult. And so I tried them on real life experiences and tried to see what I could pull through. And then the results were amazing. The results were substantial, and it's no longer something that I deem challenging. And so there's no longer any need for me to list that on here. So we'll move to the next one. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about sticking to my daily script. And you might be wondering what the daily script is. Well, the daily script is a detailed hour-to-hour write-up on the don't close the door, leave it there. A detailed hour-to-hour write-up on the exact things that I intend to do that day. Everything from first hour to second hour to third hour to the 24 hour, everything that I intend to do that day, I write it in my daily script. And so the problem here is that if by an uncontrolled event or a mistake or an incident, I miss out on completing a task that I assigned to a certain hour, I am then obligated to complete it in the following hours. And then because of I'm trying to complete them in the following hours, I'm then unable to complete the task that I've assigned for that particular hour, and I'm forced to complete it in the hour after. And so what happens is that it creates a loop of uncompleted activities. And so because it creates this loop, I just end up saying at the end of the day, fuck it. I'm no longer trying to I'll be trying to complete these tasks. I'll just do them some other time because it becomes overwhelming at some point. And so what I decided to do in order to reduce or completely eliminate this particular difficulty was that I will create a rule with an immediate consequence to ensure that I do not end up repeating this particular action, to ensure that I do not end up missing out on anything that I've assigned to do for my immediate script. So after I implement this particular solution, I will let you know how it goes. So let's see how it goes. And so for something that was seemingly difficult, or let's just say challenging at some point in time, that is no longer challenging, it's waking up early. And so I figured out that at the time when I couldn't wake up early, it wasn't just due to the fact that I slept late, but the fact that I didn't have a system to wake me up in place. The alarm that I set on my phone was barely effective, and so it couldn't actually get me out of my unconsciousness. And so I figured out a way to get that sorted out. And so in the past month, I woke up early at least 70% of the time, compared to the month before that, when I woke up early only 30% throughout the month. And so I would say that that's actually a substantial amount of progress, and it's no longer something that's challenging for me, and I've managed to achieve that. So I will be updating you on whether or not I'm able to achieve consistency in these seeming challenges. But before then, I'll see you guys in subsequent videos. Peace.